What is happening, guys? Crazy. Crazy to be back with a setup where you can actually fucking hear me. Make sure that. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to come back and do a little bit of a different video, and literally just was thinking about this yesterday, just like, how can I do like a little bit of a comeback video? And then the gods responded. So I surprisingly haven't talked not only about this, but about the whole like movie kind of community, film industry throughout this year, really a whole lot. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing the current status of theaters, how I kind of feel about them, as well as the remainder of films left that are still coming out for this year that I'm actually still anticipating. And lastly, where Pragmatophobia kind of stands with all this going on. I will be leaving a table of contents in the description below so you can just kind of go through and just check out and hear what you want to hear. But without further ado, let's just hop into this. So it was announced yesterday that AMC theaters would be opening their theaters starting August 21st, I believe, and by September 2nd, they want to have pretty much all locations opened up. So what's interesting about this is that at least since at least for the past like few weeks, personally with me, I was like, because like we know that the New Mutants is coming out August 28th, and there's a lot of debate on if that's just gonna get thrown onto Disney Plus, if that's just gonna get delayed again, but no, looks like they're keeping it in theaters, and it looks like theaters will be open in just the right time for it, as well as Tenet, which opens up September 3rd. So just with those two movies alone, I think will attract a lot of viewers, as well as save a lot of theaters for the time being anyways. Now, how I feel about the whole 15-cent thing, I think it's nice that they're trying to bring kind of like light to a dark situation. They're like, well, let's kind of do this whole 1920 to 2020 thing, and 15-cent movies, how it was in the 1920s. I think that's nice. It's sweet. It's kind of an uplifting little bit of a vibe, but at the same time, like, and I know that they say that they're going to limit it to 30% capacity, which I think is really cool. I don't know if they're going to close off every other row or every few seats, but they're saying that they're going to be doing the whole 15-cent movie thing, and it's not going to be for New Mutants or Tenet. Fuck no, unbelievable. But they will be having a handful of films. I can't remember which ones from the top of my head, but I know Back to the Future is going to be thrown in there. I think Grease. A few different kind of family friendly films for the most part. And while I think that that's a nice idea, like, and I know that that the kind of point of that is to attract audience, I think that's going to be a little bit difficult just because it is only 30% capacity, and we're still living in the days of coronavirus. So personally, I want to go back to the movie theater as much as any other moviegoer or anybody. But if it's going to violate, health and, safety precautions, then I'm not in a rush to go back, man. I want to get reviews out, You best believe fuck it, dude. I might even review Milan and pay the $30 just to get the review out. Just for the review. That's dedication. But in saying that, I do think that, even though there's a 30% capacity, and even though this has been delayed several times before actually having like a solid concrete, like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing it, here's the start, here's the deadline, it does still concern me for the most part, especially with the fact that films such as The New Mutants, which is a big anticipated film for a lot of people, has been delayed for a very long time, and then a fucking Christopher Nolan film. It just, I don't know, man. I don't know. But in saying that, because again, kind of going back to the point, the whole 30% capacity thing and the just amount of delays before leading up to this does make me feel a little bit better knowing that they have delayed it numerous times, and they are doing it not even 50%, but fucking 30. I do believe that, and even with that 30% capacity, they're still going to be doing things like closing off rows, I'm sure. So you can pretty much go anywhere at this point besides, bars or gyms or whatever. I mean, uh, some schools have opened up, I believe. I'm not too sure with that subject, but I know, pretty much a majority of restaurants have some sort of dine-in area that they can do. I think it is maybe not the time, but I think it is possibly okay enough to finally open up theaters. Especially, again, considering that most stores and a lot of businesses now and even restaurants are open to the public. So, honestly, what it comes down to is I'm okay if it's okay. I'm not going to, be there every single day just because the theaters have opened back up. I'm not going to movie hop to every theater just because I miss my theaters, which I do. I miss my fucking church. You best believe I'm not missing New Mutants or Tenet. I mean, I'm not missing those movies. So again, the fact that it is 30% capacity and the fact that they have delayed it for so long, it does make me feel a bit better, and I do kind of, I'm trusting them. So now moving on to the other part of this subject, Walmart is going to be having drive-in theaters. So I don't really know too much about the Walmart situation. I just know that they are supposedly going to start opening up like August 14th. I haven't heard anything at all about Walmarts in my area. So I don't know. Walmart's going to do what Walmart does. But I did look up like a little bit of a list, and they have like the show times and everything, and they have, again, mostly family friendly things. They have like, Space Jam and stuff like that. So honestly, I mean, I'm not too thrilled about that. I'm not like, going crazy over that, but it's cool, whatever. Walmart's gonna do Walmart, and I mean drive-in theaters, especially now, like, they're helping us. Now we're going to go on to the next subject, which is the remainder of 2020 films that I'm most excited for. So this is in no order. It's just from the top of my list. I was just, I didn't go through a whole like list of movies that are coming out and just picking out which ones I'm really excited for. It's just ones I've been excited for since the beginning. So first up, we have Soul, which is the newest Pixar movie which comes out in November, I believe. I believe it's like November 16th, and it's with Jamie Foxx. And I don't know too much about this other than the fact that it's about a jazz player. Something happens, I believe, with like the afterlife or something. I don't know. Pixar likes to fuck with that kind of shit. So, and honestly, I'm always down for a new Pixar movie, a new Disney movie. So, I'm excited for this one. Next up is Candyman. I've been excited for this one since the very beginning, and I mean, Jordan Peele's producing it. I love Jordan Peele. Respect the guy so much. I mean, Us, Get Out, and I mean, I'm a fan of the original Candyman as well. What I love about this movie is that it actually has a cast from like whenever that movie was released, and they're actually reprising their roles and everything, and not even just Tony Todd, but the actual like kid and his mom from the original movie. So I have all faith in this, dude, and I'm ready. October 16th. Next, which I'm going to bring up too, is I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which is now my most anticipated film of this year. Originally, it was Saint Maud, which is the new upcoming horror film from A24, and I love horror, and I love A24, and I really love horror from A24. But we don't know when that's coming out. They haven't released anything about it. I don't know if it's going to be VOD. A24 did release a movie called First Cow on VOD, so I'm guessing that that's what's going to happen with this one. Who really knows? But as of right now, as far as ones that are still slated for this year, I'm Thinking of Ending Things is absolutely my most anticipated film. It's one of my favorite books of all time, which I'm going to be dropping a review once the movie comes out. So September 4th is going to be stacked, because we also have The Devil All the Time, which is a massive cast. It's got Robert Pattinson, Bill Skarsgård, Tom Holland. The plot is very kind of like complicated. It says something about, there's an unholy preacher. There's a kid played by Tom Holland who's trying to like protect his family from like the forces of evil, and then there's like a lot of like war storytelling involved with it. So it's very complicated of a plot, but the movie's R rating has me thrilled enough, as well as the trailer. Watch this trailer, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. September 4th. It's gonna be a busy day. And obviously the last two being New Mutants and Tenet. And Tenet, honestly, this isn't one of my most anticipated films. I respect, that like the hype around it. Or I respect that really like we know pretty much nothing about this film, as well as its cast and Christopher Nolan. So I mean, there's something about that title, and it probably again is the hype, but especially with it being like one of the first movies releasing back to theaters, it's definitely a time that I'm really looking forward to, as well as the New Mutants. I've been kind of following the hype for this film for the past who knows how long, few years. Evan Peters, I believe, is in it. Anya Taylor-Joy. So, good cast right there. It's an X-Men movie, but it deals more on like the horror aspect. And again, I mean, this movie's been delayed so many fucking times, but we recently got, I believe, like the first 5 minutes of the movie. I haven't watched it yet because I don't want to spoil that for myself. But I mean, especially with this one being like, if not the first movie to come out, one of the first ones, like, yeah, man, I'm in. And lastly, this is not the update that I've been teasing for a while, but it is a sort of minor, like, little reassurance on Pragmatophobia. So we are still filming the movie. We are on the third act now, and we are editing like fucking crazy. I've been doing live streams every single week with my editor, and I was talking with him recently, and we're ready to do the update video. We're ready to show you guys some scenes, even some behind the scenes, talk a little bit amongst each other about the movie in itself. So where does this movie land with everything going on? So its premiere was going to be at the screening room here in Tucson, which is where I originally had its predecessor, Relapse's premiere. And right now, they're in a kind of a tough area, especially with everything going on, and them being a local theater. They are kind of in a little bit of hot water, but, doing best to support them and to donate to them. I really want this to work out. I want that to be my theater for Pragmatophobia. But honestly, literally everything is just kind of up in the air right now. All I know is that the film will be releasing this year. I know that there will be some sort of theaters open, so whatever is open, if worst comes to worst, I'm going to just throw the film at that and, just see where it goes. If worst comes to worst, obviously we will be doing DVD releases, as well as YouTube. We'll have the film on there as well. And obviously, earlier review copies will be being sent out to certain people. So, that hype and that kind of build up for the movie, whenever it releases late this year, will still be going on. But yes, the movie will be releasing this year. We are almost done with it. We're getting very close. And, with theaters opening back up, I think that that's a good sign. I'm not going to talk any more about that, but that is kind of a, positive, like, little push in the right direction that I'm really happy to talk with you guys about. So this has been my video just basically on film today. This was a really cool video. I felt really good about doing this. I have a couple reviews coming, one coming tonight or tomorrow morning, and then one shortly after. So, I'm back, I guess. Obviously, the setup isn't complete. It's not like some fucking, like, insane fucking geeky film buff setup, but I'm content, And one thing before I get too off topic, before I end this video, is that I really had to think with myself, like, is it really necessary to just kind of take a break just because my videos aren't what I want them to be fully? And I know that there's that quality over quantity kind of aspect to it, but being a new kind of like YouTuber and being new to this in general, I really do want to do the best I can for you guys, and I really want to give the best kind of like vibe and persona and best kind of qualities that I can out of myself. So with that being said, it is really good to be back, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys very soon.